was a fantastic day today from both sides of Eagles joint practice with the Browns, the final day, and a lot to go over here. We got a lot to talk about in this defense. We got a lot to talk about offensively. This was the Eagles' day. The defense needed a lift today. They needed more motivation. They needed some excitement, and Nick Sirianni made sure of that before practice was started today. And my God, did we get some results of this defense, and there was energy today with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they won the day 100% fully. Lot to talk about here. Let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So we're going to go over Eagles training camp, second day, final day of the joint practice with the Cleveland Browns. And it was a very good day on both sides. I don't know what happened. Nick Sirianni got into the room and was like, we need to fix what we need to fix. We need to get into the second practice, get some energy, and let's take over this day. And that's what they did on both sides of the football. So I'm going to be all over the place in this video and be reading some stuff and getting some stuff done. But there's some exciting stuff here going forward. And first, we're going to go over the injury report, as usual with the Philadelphia Eagles. And looks like Britton Covey's still out with a hamstring. Looks like Quez Watkins is still out with a hamstring. And Quez Watkins is just missing so much time, valuable snaps right now. I think he's still the starter, but you know what? It gives other receivers, opportunity. This is the deepest wide receiver room I have ever seen with production on the back end. I'm not even kidding. I have never seen an Eagles wide receiver room this deep and this productive as we've seen this entire training camp. And it's been absolutely amazing. And this is one of the deep, I think, as team-wise, I think it's one of the deepest rosters that Howie Roseman's going to have some really hard decisions to make going forward with it. So wide receiver 3, a lot of other guys are getting opportunity here. Land Dickerson had a foot. He's fine. Don't worry about it. They're just a precaution. They're not going to rush anybody back. You want to make sure these guys are going to be good going forward. Patrick Johnson's going to be out for a while with the ankle injury. Hassan Reddick had a thumb injury. I know he just got off the groin soreness. He became a full participant for a while. Now he's got a thumb injury. Obviously, if this was a game, he would play, okay? So he would play if it was, they would tape that damn thing up and he'd just go out and play. It would just happen. But Nick Sirianni just said, at the press conference that they are going to, kind of slow him in, get him into the defense. He'll be ready by the regular season. There's no worry about it whatsoever. So just, no rush for, Hassan Reddick coming back. So thought that was interesting with the injury report, and that's it for now. Keep that list as light as possible. We talked about Nick Sirianni, just a couple things. Said that Sidney Brown is definitely in the mix for that safety spot. And if he says that, he means it. Okay, and Sidney Brown flying around practice today had a really good day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So that was cool to talk about the safety position as well. And yeah, Nick Sirianni pretty much thought that the Eagles didn't really meet the standard of Monday's practice, the first joint practices against the Browns, and really need a big jump of excitement and energy. And let me tell you, it was almost a complete shutout by the Philadelphia Eagles today at the NovaCare Complex. So kind of nuts. So we're going to go obviously through the quarterbacks. The offense in general had a really good day. I think Marcus Mariota had a fantastic day today. He had a few touchdowns. He had a touchdown to Deion Kane today. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 involving Deion Kane. Deion Kane is back. He was out, 6 training camp practices with that ankle injury. So another receiver coming right in and being productive. That's what I like to see. But with Jalen Hurts, had an excellent day today. Just fantastic. Just to talk about it real quick, he had back-to-back touchdowns to Goddard and Devontae Smith, 5 yards out on 7 versus 7s. A.J. Brown versus Lorenzo Burns, a dart to Brown for a touchdown on 7 on 7s. Boston Scott had a touchdown with Oz kicking out with a nice block and getting the touchdown, which was really cool. Trey Sermon up the middle, touchdown, not even touched. great blocking up front. They had 2 running back sets with Gainwell and DeAndre Swift, which was pretty cool. We all know that they're going to be getting the most out of these running backs, getting them into the passing game, and Swift being used as, maybe using double sets with Gainwell, and I know they lined up Swift on the outside and all that great stuff. And trust me, Gainwell's going to get a lot of opportunity, as I think he is the second best running back in this room right now. And with Swift being mismatched on a lot of different guys, and they could line him up wherever he wants, this is an element we lost last year. We didn't have much production in the passing game, and now between last year's running back core to this year, it's completely different. Now adding Rashad Penny and adding DeAndre Swift. Even Trey Sermon's having a very good camp right now. I don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of rumors right now that Rashad Penny and Trey Sermon are in a big competition, which I don't know if I could believe right now. I have to give it more time, but we'll see down the road. Devontae Smith had a touchdown left corner of the end zone. The Browns had no answer for Devontae Smith. No answer. Between these 2 days for Devontae Smith, they can't cover him. They can't catch up to him. I think realistically, yesterday they had like 1 deflection on him. Really nothing much. It's been pretty good, going down the line, which, there's no answer for him at all. Hurts had a QB sneak red zone touchdown. A.J. Brown had a back corner end zone touchdown. The A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts chemistry has just been so great. I don't have nothing to complain about our starting receivers because they've been almost perfect, near none perfect, pretty much. So Gainwell had another touchdown up the middle, and Tyree Cleveland has another touchdown today. Has been very, very productive. I mean, Tyree Cleveland coming out of that Ravens game caught a lot of good passes. Thank God we had a quarterback, a surprising quarterback that rose from the dead. Finally, we had a quarterback that was in the room besides our starter and our backup, a guy in Tanner McKee that really was giving guys great looks in that game. And Tyree Cleveland was just still, I mean, this receiver room is crazy. I can't even get over it, man. It's just absolutely insane. But the big news on defense, offense was great. They were all over the place. The big news on defense, Jalen Carter, man. Again, man, I want to see film on this. I want to see actual film on Jalen Carter. I mean, he shoved the Browns 2-time first-team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler Joe Bitonio, okay, onto his back during 11-on-11s. I just can't get over this, man. It's just every practice he is I mean, yesterday it was like 7 pressures, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. I mean, and just mauling guards just destroying guards, being physical, being angry, being disruptive, and today doing the same thing. I mean, you're putting Pro Bowlers on their backs. It's just, I can't get over it. Fletcher Cox was talking today about he should have been the number 1 pick in the draft. Like, how did the Eagles get him at 9? I don't even know. I don't even know at all. It's just, I'm so overwhelmed by all of the production from these players, from this defense. It's so deep right now, and so much talent. This defensive line, I mean, Javon Hargrave leaves this team. The biggest guy, player that left the Philadelphia Eagles getting paid $20 million a year at $21 million a year at 31 years old. I mean, to replace that, I mean, it's easily replaced now. And I'm not, I don't know, I think he's going to be an immediate impact. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, you're literally getting pressures almost every play, and guards can't even handle him. Who are you going to double team? Who are you going to leave single blocked? I mean, that's the question going forward, because how our offense is really going to attack this, I have no idea, but it's just insane. Man, Jalen Carter is just, man, so great. So great. I just love hearing his name every time. Now, the safety position, okay? So Justin Evans was sharing some safety reps with Sidney Brown and with Reed Blankenship. We got to talk, okay? We got to talk again here. Now, there was 3 fights, okay? There was 3 scuffles at practice today with the Browns, which was kind of crazy. So, on top of Reed Blankenship already having a pick the other day, Reed Blankenship had a pick the same way it happened the other day. Zach Cunningham went after the ball, it tipped, and Reed caught it in the end zone, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, I just I can't even get over it. And then right after that pick, Sidney Brown laid a Cleveland Brown out on the ground, and then a scuffle happened. Sidney Brown is just like a physical, I love it. He mentioned at his press conference today, Sidney Brown mentioned that he's going to be a violent player. That's what he said. He's like, I want to be known as a violent player. And that's awesome. That is great. That is a cool thing. So that happened. The second fight was Derek Barnett and Thomas Green. He had his little scrum match, which was kind of crazy. You know, Derek Barnett getting into a fight, everyone's going to make a big deal about it. When it's anybody else, everyone's fine with it. You know, the third fight was Kevon Wallace and running back John Kelly. That was the 3 fights today. The Eagles showed a lot of energy. The Eagles showed a lot of, like, they weren't getting pushed around today. Look, the culture is so close, and the camaraderie with these players and how they stick together and how I just love it, man. I love this team so much in so many different ways. So now James Bradbury, interesting enough, actually played nickel to outside linebacker today, which was interesting. Now I think this Sean Desai is just moving guys around. This might not be something that they're going to do, but different fronts, disguising coverages. That's what Sean Desai wants to do with this defense. Be creative to get pressure on quarterbacks. So Bradbury might not play that position, but you never know what they could do if they want to use him there. A bigger type cornerback maybe can be on a bigger tight end, match up well with a guy like that. I mean, that's what I would kind of use James Bradbury for. And they feel like they have something in Eli Ricks or something in, Zech McPherson or somebody on the outside. I understand that Zech McPherson is playing more nickel now, so I definitely understand that. But if they feel like they can move Bradbury around a little bit, maybe use him on a bigger tight end or something like that, and they feel like they're comfortable with Keely Ringo, or if they're comfortable with somebody on the outside, that's what they could do. So a lot of good things to take away from that. Now, Milton Williams and Fletcher Cox, apparently they couldn't tell between the two. I mean, there was a rush hit on Watson. He was throwing the ball, hit the ground. Josh Sweat back-to-back. I mean, he had a forced fumble on Deshaun Watson, and he hit his arm as he was throwing on another play, which hit the ground as well, which it was an inaccurate pass, so he played good. And then the ending of Eagles camp for the second joint practice day, Josh Jobe gets an interception in the end zone, running to the sideline and celebrating with his teammates. So today was a high energy, well-needed day. Kind of like wake up, guys, wake up. We're the better team here. And trust me, the Browns, I feel like this team was the perfect team for the Eagles to have joint practices with, because they have a good offense. Their offensive line is very good. Okay, their defensive line is very good. Okay, we all know that Mulatto was having issues with Myles Garrett, so I don't know if I don't think Myles Garrett played today. I'm not sure. They might have kept him out with that foot injury he got the other day, so I didn't hear his name once, so maybe he was out for the Browns during the joint practices. But I felt like this was a really good team to go against, and a lot of competition. I feel like the Eagles fully won this whole entire joint practice. I think it was about tie even the other day. Now, Deshaun Watson did throw, I think, 2 touchdowns today, but they really didn't smell the end zone after that. I mean, look what the Eagles did. They scored what? I don't even know, 6, 7 touchdowns, maybe more. I don't even know. I had to keep count of everything. It's just insane, So to take what's to take out of this Reed Blankenship, I mean, just has been so consistent since. I don't know what he did this offseason. I really don't, but between OTAs, I can't take too much in the OTAs because we're not in full pads. Then getting into training camp, he hasn't been moved once out of this safety spot at all. Sidney Brown is fired up. He's playing violent. This guy is just, this guy was a Red Star player for the Eagles, man. Like, when it comes to work ethic, when it comes to high volume, high energy, just what exemplifies him to be a Philadelphia Eagle, like so many different things that go into it. But he, 9 solo tackles in the Ravens game and still making plays, just insane. And Jalen Carter is just, I have no words. I have no words. Like, what this defensive line is going to do. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Could they get over 70 sacks this year? I honestly don't know. I feel like, Jalen Carter thinks he's going to get a lot more sacks this year because just, he talked about this more of a passing league, and, more of the time it's going to be pass blocking, and he'll have more of an opportunity to get, I don't know what he's going to get. I don't know what he's going to do this year. I really don't. But, if it's double digit, great. If not, as long as he's disruptive and he's helping the guy next to him, him. I could care less. So a lot of good things. And obviously, plays being made by all the receivers. This distribution of the football has been fantastic. Marcus Mariota had a really good day. So I think he's kind of going upward a little bit, new team, new system, so he's kind of going upwards a little bit. And obviously Jalen Hurts has just been fantastic. And he just signed a big deal with Jordan as well for his shoe. I don't know if he's coming out with his own sneakers because I'm definitely getting him. Okay, let's just make sure on that. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video of the last day of Eagles training camp, joint practice with the Cleveland Browns, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well. It does help out the channel a lot. And we'll have more updates on Eagles training camp and preseason, all that great stuff. And you guys have a fantastic day. And Howie Roseman, you have a lot of tough decisions to make. I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.